We're Ladder Valley Studios.
It's March 1st, 2023, and this is the monthly update.
Yeah. We just rolled the next world, Meridia, Yanasema, etc. That's
Which
like the
I'll
13th now?
I'll edit into the end of this video.
Yeah. It's like 13 worlds across my desktop at this point. Maybe more. 14? I think it's 14.
14 of 30.
14 of 30. Yeah. Step one of this is going to be I need to organize it in such a way that when I start making things for it, they go where they're supposed to be right off the start. That is number one plan, number one priority. Because if I don't do that, things take more and more time and get harder and harder and more confusing. So yeah, before anything, that is like, yeah, number one plan. Even before I like write other books that are already underway and continue drafting and editing. Because during that, I might come up with more ideas and just show them in there. So yeah.
Getting a foundation that then you can refer that foundation for things that have already gone past that foundation and are too far gone.
It's especially nice when a story is we just rolled it and we're just going to grab all the stuff and shove it in a pile, and then I have to make it all workable to be novel format. Or into outlines and into text documents and figure out what all these papers are for and all the things they put there. But it's so much easier when it's right at the start because there's almost nothing compared to the ones that I've worked on, the ones we've gone over, where there's a stack of papers this big that I have to go through because it has a bunch of stuff in it that I don't know where it is or how.
World 21 is not really going to have a lot.
Yeah, it's great. It's just going to have the core stuff that we've come up with and not a bunch of extra
there's still kind of
stuff.
Is there a handful still of ones we did do that we didn't get back to? I guess the Banes,
World 16, World 1, 2, and 3. A lot of the ones the Banes is one of the ones we randomized
again, or we did a long time ago and then we brought it back. In novel form, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's in novel form. The as far as ones that aren't in novel form, it's World 1, 2, 3, 16, and then a few others, I think.
Right. That
are we worked on them a bunch before they were novel form, and we have yet to go back to them. So those have big stacks. But yeah, this one is a tiny stack. Yeah. So that's nice. Yeah. So that's what we're at now.
Yeah. And what is the state of 26, which we rolled? Well, it was quite a long time ago. But
8?
Well, all of the stuff.
All the stuff. Yeah.
This is the update video.
Update video on every single thing. Backtracking, going through the worlds is still the main priority of how to organize things.
Cleaning up everything.
World 8 right now, it's in such a nice little pamphlet.
Printable.
So great. Yeah.
Printable, organized.
Print it off and it's in a book and I just can write chunks of it randomly. It's it's all there. To do that with World 21 would be great. And then go back to World 10, which is the last one we rolled before World 8. And then that has not too much either. And then it goes to World 18, which is one that we actually did a lot of. That's Gatler and Magic Academy of Wizards and Space. That has a lot of stuff. But, just going back through them like that is going to help me figure out what even a book is. Because really I've almost finished World 9, almost finished World 26, or halfway through it. And they're both huge. And they're both so different. And neither of them are actually finished. But most of that is because I'm learning what a book is as I write them. And then that's what a book is. As I
He doesn't read books.
Yeah. So as I go through these and outline more things and look through all these notes and figure out how things can go together and stuff, it's yeah, by the end of this year, hopefully all those will be organized. I think that'll be pretty easy. Well, actually, with like World 27, World 17, and a few others near the beginning, like as I go back through, it gets to stories that have more and more stuff with them, and the stacks get bigger. So those are probably not going to happen, because that means like almost reading a whole book to catch up on what's there. But that's like, going to be a nice, steady, gradual thing, while writing those books at the front to finish them. So it's a cool little process of like, yeah. So that's what's going on. That's what's going to go on for the whole year. Yeah. Organize the later ruled worlds that don't have much stuff, and then draft World 9 and World 26 primarily, to have those for sure done by the end of the year, and see how much of everything else is done, because there's like ridiculous amounts done for other things. But
draft being a first draft of the whole book.
Yeah, to have it,
I feel like the word draft, if you don't, you could consider that different ways.
Yeah, whole book written.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, where you can read it all the way through, even though there's like ton of mistakes or whatever. It's just like, first draft in terms of there's going to be a lot of stuff that's messed up and a lot that needs cutting, etc. But it's at least readable all the way through. World 9 got to that point, but there were chunks that I didn't actually finish, and I just left them open, and chapters I didn't put in the right spots. So it's like, it's not, if you grabbed it, you would start reading, you eventually get to a point where it's like, this doesn't seem right, because it's like in the wrong spot, or it's like an unfinished section that just has notes, and then it continues, and it's like those notes just didn't turn into a book yet, and then those sections which weren't put that were supposed to yet. So it like never got to that point where you could just sit down and read it all the way through. And now I've got a 30,000 word text document of edits, of like notes and things that I need to change and add
in there,
into World 9. So like as I go through it again and I get to those parts, I'm going to be like,
30,000 words.
I think I wrote this.
I mean, when the book when the book is the size of Lord of the Rings trilogy, then 30,000 word edit booklet doesn't seem as much.
It's so tiny, but it's so big still. Yeah, it's going to be that's kind of why going back through, starting with World 21 and then back to World 10 and like the ones later that don't have much stuff, and going back through, a lot of it is going to be for me to understand what we have done and what is there already, and etc. And part of going back to World 9 after I finish World 26 is mostly going to be what is done. What have I done? What edits did I do? What edits did I not do but I have notes on still, and like all this stuff, and just so much to catch up on because I took that break and started World 26 instead. But it was necessary, because if I just continued with it, I wouldn't have really learned what a book is. I would have learned what that thing is, and it would be a weird thing.
I mean, I'm writing a book for a friend, or like co-writing it, and realizing that I need to be consistent with it, otherwise I forget where I'm at, or different than looking at a drawing or painting where it's all right there in front of you. You don't need to know the linear progression of the thing. But with a novel, you have to know what happened before and after. And
then there are so many, like the tiniest little things, like the way one character might say totally once in a while, and then suddenly another character says totally, and that other character stops saying it. It's like
the first one doesn't.
Like, all over the place. Like just those little tiny things, and when there's thousands of them everywhere. Books are hard. Or just hilarious. So a lot of fun, a lot of work to do. I'm just gonna keep trucking away at it.
That's what Lantern Valley Studios is doing.
And February was kind of like a semi break from writing, and tabletop.
January was also transitional period. As you can see, we're in a different space.
We reorganized everything, and there's been a couple months of and it's coming to a kind of a wrap up here, and then get back in the groove of writing. Just the other day, I was like, I'm gonna write today, like just do writing and nothing else. And I ended up writing like, I have no idea how many words, but a lot of words.
8 pages by hand.
And then some. So it just happens, Yeah, so just start doing it and do it, and you just keep doing it. And there's one
Eventually
thing that
things
I've learned
get
about
done.
this world. It's that when people keep doing things, eventually those things get done.
So, we'll see you next month.
Random number generating. The next.
The next world.
Yes. 3, 2, 1. We hit it, but we're skipping like half of the numbers.
Yeah.
So 3,
Wow.
2, 1.
Oh, we did that.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
We haven't done that.
Oh, cool. 21. Nyana-sama, aka Meridia. Cool. Alright.
World 21.
Success.
Put us on sleep.
Yeah.
And then we do the update video.